Oh, hey, how's it going, YouTube? Okay, time is lapsing. So, not a football guy. There's football, but so bit don't know much at all. So, the Jaguars and the Steelers are playing today at 1 o'clock. So, in about an hour. Uh, my prediction. Got a buddy at work loves Pittsburgh. So he's betting on Pittsburgh. So, kind of got to go with the Jaguars. Might even bet him some money, dollar or something. No, he won't take that bet. But I'll go with the Jaguars because I'm like the underdog, and I mean, when was the last time the Jaguars did anything? I mean, I'm sure they've been in the playoffs before. Like I said, I don't know anything about football, so but I'm sure they have been in the playoffs before, you know. But I mean, when was the last time they were at a Super Bowl? I don't think in my lifetime. So I'd like to see him get a shot. So let's beat Pittsburgh. Let's get him in there and let's see him in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. And I mean, the Patriots going to win. They cheat, so I mean, you're going to win. Cheaters always win, right? I mean, just look at our politicians today. Cheaters always win. So I don't know why the saying is cheaters never win. Maybe if you get caught, but if you look at our politicians, they get caught all. I mean, we know, but I mean, they're in there, right? That's got to change. But the problem is people these days they think change is they want something. They feel like these politicians they got now do everything for the rich, so they need everybody. They need to do things for everybody else. No, that's wrong. The government needs to do nothing. I mean, the best president would be the one that sits at his Oval Office and plays cards all day. Literally, would probably be the best president in the world because that's what we need. Someone that's gonna deregulate. They're gonna cut taxes. They're gonna cut spending. Got to cut spending, guys. If I mean, we're raising spending on military, not defense. We're raising money for militarism instead of defense spending. Big difference, you know. I mean, I can just see myself on stage just getting asked a question about. So we hear you want to cut military spending, and I mean, I'd say the same thing that Ron Paul said: is you don't understand. It's okay, but you don't understand. Militarism is totally different than defense spending. You know, if you're going to spend on military, I mean, you're going to build bases all around the world, and I mean that's military. That's military spending, but defense spending. I mean, we'd have bases on this border. We'd have troops on the border. To hell with Trump's wall. I get where he's coming from, you know. And then I mean, people say, well, if we have troops on the border, the next president could come and just take them away. Okay, we put a wall up. The next president can just knock it down. That's even worse. That's more money wasted. Um, I agree. It'd probably be harder to get the government to bring down the wall, but I mean, they do things all the time that we don't like. So, I mean, they could probably knock down the wall, and we would never even know, anyways. But defense spending, we need to raise defense spending, cut military spending. If we cut all the militarism spending, we could probably spend a whole bunch on defense spending and still not spend as much as it's spending altogether. And we need to, I mean, we need to stop defending these other countries for them. That's dumb too. I mean, and we fund their economies because their economies are even worse than ours, but we fund them. So I mean, our economies. When I say economy, I don't mean like your local business. I mean, because he could be doing good, but I'm talking about the whole thing as a whole, I mean, if our government's got to, they collect so much in taxes, they probably collect. I mean, if we didn't spend any of the tax money, we could probably pay off the debt pretty quick. Honestly, if we didn't spend money on anything for about even 5 years, and we just collected all those taxes every year and didn't spend it on anything, the government didn't spend it anywhere, just held on to it and paid on that debt, it'd be gone pretty darn quick. I mean, yeah, the country would, I mean, I'm just saying, they collect so much in taxes, but yet we're in debt. because they got to spend that, put a little bit towards. It's like they're paying the minimal payment. The minimal that they have to pay on the interest on the debt. I don't even know. The big question is, why does our government send bonds to the Federal Reserve so the Federal Reserve can print the Federal Reserve notes to then get? I don't get that. I don't think anybody should understand. This makes no sense. When our government could just, first of all, make gold and silver, as it says in the Constitution, but do that, issue. People are like, well, that wouldn't work. We don't have enough gold. Okay, look. Way back when, $1 was 1/35 of an ounce, right? So $1 was 1/35 because gold was 35 an ounce. So it was 1/35 of an ounce, price-wise. Not 35th of an ounce of gold, literally, but the dollar was 1/35 of the price of gold. Yes, if we went on the gold standard, there's no way we'd be able to do 1/35. We would go with probably what it is. It would be 1 in 1,300. But you're getting, so that means if you had, it's the same thing. If you went and gave the bank 1,300, you'd get 1,300 worth of gold. What's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with that. The politicians wouldn't be able to print money. They wouldn't be able to do it because they have to have that certain amount of gold to match how much they're putting out in the economy. That's the only thing the gold standard does. It wouldn't wreck the economy. It wouldn't do anything. It would just limit the government from inflating the currency. Now, granted, that didn't stop him in 1930, but that's our fault. I always tell my buddy, I say, I wish I could go back to 1776 and live forever and just watch what happened to our country. Watch the Civil War, man. I'd be up yelling, why? No, we are the only country that had a civil war to end slavery. And the Civil War didn't even end slavery. It was still going on past that. You got to weed it out. The states had the right, okay? Now, look, I'm not saying that it was right. I hate this. This is a hard topic. It's a hard topic to talk about. But I even have a buddy that he'll admit himself. He'll say, well, yeah, the Civil War wasn't over slavery directly. Yes, was it over slavery? Yeah, but what you got? The fundamentals of what it was about. For the South, it was the government had no right to tell them that they couldn't have the slaves, okay? And the North was saying the North wanted the government, the federal government, to overrule those states. That's where the crap started. That's where we went down the crap hole. Because we gave that federal government the power to overrule just one thing. That's all it took. One thing to overrule the states. Boom. Now the federal government had a little more power than the states. And then you got the next one. Boom. The next one. Boom. The next one. The federal government's banning alcohol. That's a state thing. It's not in the Constitution. See, okay, why did it take a civil war to then make an amendment? Or, maybe it didn't, but why didn't they just make an amendment? I don't know. All I know is every other country ended a civil war ended slavery without a civil war. So why we couldn't do it? We could have, but the federal government wanted to be a little bigger. So there you go. That's why we had to do it. Kill off a lot of those South people that knew, see, guys, I ramble because this stuff just gets to me. I have no views. No one will ever see this video. Probably will never be able to run for office. People like me don't get in. We've seen it with Ron Paul. People do not get in that actually want freedom, that actually understand the Constitution, and actually understand what the American people want. Those people don't get in elected because they don't get shown by the media. Why everybody still watches the news beats me. I don't know. Chaps my booty. But we got to try. My buddy says, Nothing you can do about it. I mean, the world's this is good. It's just nothing you can do about it. And I cannot say that there's nothing I can do about it, because if I give up and I don't talk about it and I don't do anything and I don't try to run one day, what does that mean? That just means the same thing. It just means we keep going with what's going on. And that's how every average American feels. Nothing he can do about it, so just keep on living your life. Watch football, watch the Jaguars at Pittsburgh, and that's all you want to do. Sure. Do I watch football? Yeah. But do you see me right here? I'm about to watch the game in an hour, but I'm here talking to you guys, telling you what's going on in the world and how I want to change it. You can do both. You can live your party life, whatever you want to do, and still vote and still be don't watch the news. Do not watch the news. There's tons of YouTube channels that will tell you about what's going on a daily basis. The Ron Paul Liberty Report, alternative news media, or it might even be alternative media. There's Gregory Manarino. He's more of not news, but he's like stock market news. But I mean, he'll tell you what's going on in the stock market. He'll tell you what's going on in stocks. If you want to invest, I would go to him. He's definitely way better than if you go. I mean, he at least knows what's going on. That the Fed's buying these bonds. The Fed's propping up the bond market, which etc. is propping up the stock market. Jaguars at Pittsburgh, guys. I'm going to talk a little about that because I know that the people that turned on this video priority turned off, but want to hear a little bit about what I got to say about sports. Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to do crap today. Why? Because the Jaguars need to win. And that way we can say, Pittsburgh lost. Pittsburgh lost. And that guy's going to get pissed at work. But that's why, I mean, Ben's going to throw about 2 interceptions. I'm going to guess that Antonio Brown gets hurt. He hurts his ankle. I don't even know any players on the Jaguars. But I got it on right here. Looks like they have some celebrity on here. Oprah. Oh, man. Oprah's going to win, guys. Unless the people wake up and understand the fundamentals of what's going on. I'm not talking about sports. I don't even know why I titled it about sports. I told you my prediction. Jaguars going to beat Pittsburgh probably like 24-17. There we go. Odd Shark actually predicted it the other way around, but that's why I'm going to predict it that way. Oprah will run. I already talked about this in my other video, so I'm not going to talk about it now, but, well, might as well, because if someone watches this one but didn't watch the other one. Oprah will run because the economy will go into an economic crisis, okay, because of the propping up of the stock market. It's going to have to correct itself. Economic law, it's law. It's supply and demand is economic law that you cannot control. You cannot control an economy. It doesn't work. It messes everything up. It creates booms and busts. And we're in the midst of the boom, guys. This is the boom. Everything's great. Yeah, it's the boom. Yeah. Oh, look what's going on, guys. Stock market's great. Economy's great. Tax cuts. Yeah. Okay. But why does the Fed need to prop up the stock market? They wouldn't. I mean, because I don't know. They want to control it. They want to manipulate it. I don't know if it's for their benefit or if they just do it because they think that's what needs to be done. And that's what I think. Because if you ask anybody, if you were to ask an average American, well, I mean, they're not going to know anything about it. I don't know. We're going to go into a crisis. Oprah's going to run, or any Democrat's going to run and say, look, this is what happens when you unregulate the economy and you cut taxes. Because what did Trump do? He cut regulations, good thing, and he cut taxes, good thing. Whether it's for the rich or not, he cut taxes. Someone is getting their income back. Someone is getting their hard-earned work and labor back. I don't care if it's not me. It's somebody. I don't care if you're the richest man in the world. You're getting some of your labor back. I'm happy for you. I don't want the government taking that away from you. Why should you work? No, that's not good. You work for you. Why should you work? And the government says, well, we're going to take like 10% of your labor. So you're going to work for free, technically, for a certain amount of your life. No, sorry, that's me. You can tax me in other ways. The Constitution clearly said, I mean, I would be all for repealing the 16th Amendment. Now, I don't know how bills work in Congress. That's why I'm reading books. That's why I'm not running anytime soon. I don't know enough about the politics. I'm learning a lot of more economics right now because, I mean, you would think the government should not be involved in economics, right? That would make sense. They should be involved in like, law and the Constitution and that stuff, but they should not be heavily involved in economics. And they are, and yet no politicians know anything about economics. I mean, the government talks about how they're going to create jobs. One, the government doesn't create jobs. They either restrict it or they let business create jobs. That's why, I mean, any politician, I mean, there's Sandy Pensler running for Michigan Senate, and he says, I'm going to create jobs. I would have rather had you said, you're going to make it so businesses can create jobs. That's what I want to hear you say. Now, I still might vote for Sandy Pensler because John James just does not seem, I don't know, he doesn't have a stance. He says, I mean, yeah, he's in the military, but that's not, I'm honest and blunt. If you're in the military, we already know they beat you down and to bring you back up, to build you up their way, you know? That's what happened. He's been beat down and brought back up to be trained a certain way. I don't want that. I want you to be free. I want you to have the freedom mindset. And I don't see it in him. He just talks about how I feel like he's for war. I don't want for war. I want you to be for defense, not for war. There's a difference. Someone attacks you, you attack them. There you go. Or someone, if someone might attack you, talk to them. Why do you want to attack us? What are we doing to you? We're doing a lot to these other countries. I mean, when I found out that we were in Iran trying to do regime change in the 1950s, that all came clear to me. I was like, well, there you go. I mean, you're telling me that we were doing regime change and 50 years later they attacked us? They held off on attacking us a pretty long time. Imagine if someone was here doing that to us, like imagine if China was here. Trump was about to be president, but they got Hillary in, right? Somehow, I don't know. I mean, we got pissed when the left got pissed when they thought, Russia had something to do with Trump, right? Well, there you go. I mean, what if they did? I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they did then because I would rather have Trump than Hillary, but I wanted Rand Paul over Trump. Well, the way I see it is anybody that's in the primary, Republican or Democrat, if you're in the primary, those are the two you don't want. Those are one of those two that they're the worst ones. You want you want the ones. I don't know I don't know why that it doesn't. See, my buddy tells me why, and I know why this stuff is like this, but I don't know. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm going to end this video because it's 12:30 and I want to read a little bit, but my GoFundMe's in the description. I tried to do it myself, but I don't think it worked. If you do donate and you go to it, I guess just search my name. My name's on my YouTube channel at Brock Story. You should be able to maybe search that and it might come up. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I want to run in the future. I don't expect you to trust me that I'm going to use that money for that, but I am going to use that money to fund a political campaign in the future. I have it set at $100,000. That's just because I don't want to put a down. I don't want to put a downgrade on what I could get because if I've got 100,000, that's that much better to run and be noticed than 50,000. I'm sure. I mean, I could run probably using 30,000. I could probably become the represent. I don't want to run for representative because that's Amash is pretty good at it. I'd probably maybe I'd talk to Justin Amash for running for Senate, and I don't know. I don't know how it works, if I got to live in the place I want to be the representative of or not. But the link's in the description. Please fund my GoFundMe for my political campaign in the future. And tune in for the next video. I don't know when it'll be. It could be tomorrow. But I'll definitely have another one this week. Won't be about sports. Just like this one wasn't about sports. I shouldn't have titled it that, but I did. I'm going to keep it because I stick to what I say, and I already put it as that, and I'm going to keep it. Go Jaguars!